that measure, and just pretty much that implicit or explicit. You also you told. I think that's all.
That's okay. So DAX is what? DAX are the functions that you're using in Power BI are falling under the category of DAX. There are two types of DAX. One is columns and one is measures. When you use measure, what is happening? A calculation is happening at the row level and a new column actually gets created in your tables. But when you're creating measures, measures are basically summarization or aggregation on the table level or the column level, and it returns you a single value. Right? Measures are of two types, implicit and explicit. Implicit measures are created when you pick any field from your list and which is a numerical field and drop it, it automatically does a summarization. So that's called an implicit measure. And when you're using the functions like sum or average or any other calculation, and then creating the measures using these DAX functions, those are called explicit measures. Now, the difference between both implicit and explicit will give you exactly the same output. However, implicit output, the implicit measure output cannot be used for other calculations, whereas the output from the explicit measure, since it's a new field that got created, can be used in the calculations, in the further calculations. So that's the main difference that we looked at. Those are the things that we spoke about. And then we started with basic things like we found the total quantity, return quantity, percentage returned. We also created a calculated column called product profit. Then we spoke about the arithmetic operators, we spoke about the logical operators and the text operators, and that's where we stopped. So can you help me to find out these things? Find me the total number of customers. Now using functions, all these things we were doing in our Power Query part in the transformation, but without using any Power Query, not going in the back end. If I wanted to find out what is the average children, what is the calculate the unique products, and how many are the total customers, can you do that?
Total number of customers.
Sure,
yes, we have to create a new column measures.
Yes, these are all measures, correct.
Right.
So if I have to say calculate the total number of customers, what will you do? Which function will you apply? Think in terms of Excel also. You have that knowledge base.
Count.
Okay. And what will you count?
Customer ID.
Customer
ID. Okay. And where do you think this measure should be created?
Customer factor.
Customer
factor.
Right. And if I want to say unique products?
Product fact table.
Product
key.
table.
But unique
products. There can be many products, right?
There can be many products.
So in the product table, what do you have?
Product key.
Product table. Product fact table, we have a product key. Correct. Product key is going to be unique. That's why it's a fact table.
Okay.
So again,
but
doing
it can be repeated, no? It can be repeated.
No, unique will not be repeated.
It's a unique, sorry. Yes.
It's already unique.
Unique. So
this is a primary key for this. So it's already unique. Hence, we can use
so we can count. Yes.
Correct.
So Shannon, do we have what we call in SQL? It's distinct kind of.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So we have count and count distinct also we have.
Yeah.
So can you please explain this distinct once with an example?
You do my work, I'll do your work.
Okay.
You do this.
Can you please show the questions?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
The answers are given in the bracket so that you can calculate it. You can check your answers.
where can I find that DAX function option?
So to
Right
create
click on
a
the field.
right click on the table that you are going to create. For example, if I'm going to work with the customer, so click on that. You have new measure.
Okay.
Once that is there, on the top, you will see this thing popping up, and write the name of your measure. For example, we want total customers, and then write the formula.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So like you have count. Which one will you use? Count or count A, or count distinct count? Distinct count, count or count A?
If I'm using the unique key, I will use count.
Unique key and a count. So count and your customer key.
I have used count only. In second one, distinct count.
Distinct.
In both, you can use a count. The reason you can use a count is because over there, that is a primary key. Should not matter.
If it is a primary key, then both the function will work same.
Yes.
Can I see second question? Unique product.
Done.
I'm on last. Just come on.
For last one, Ishani.
Last
So,
one. All right.
Yes,
Ishani,
on the last.
Ishani,
Yeah.
I'm just little bit confused. So, I understood how to create the deck, but where in which table should I create? I'm just little bit confused.
For example, total number of customer. This information is a customer information. We have a table on customers, so ideally it should be there. Okay. Similarly, calculate the unique products, number of products that are there. Where do you think it's appropriate to keep it?
AW products.
Product table, correct? Average children. This information again, where would you find it? In the customer table.
Average, yes, customer table.
So where should the aggregation sit? Customer table,
AW customer, okay.
right? Yeah.
How do I create an output of it? Because I have just entered it and nothing came up.
You enter it, nothing should come up. It creates a measure, right? It creates a field over here. And then you've learned how to drop the field and get the output. You were there when we created cards, right?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
maybe
So drop it in the card and check.
What table we need to use for average children?
Average children, you will use customer table only.
Customer fact.
Because in customer table, we have something called total children.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Over here, then we can right click, create a new measure.
So it will add in the fact table column as a new column, the output of these results.
Yes, whichever table you guys are selecting, it will get added over there.
And we have to drag it, align it with the card, same like before.
Correct. So total children, average of total children, and you press enter. So I've got something called average children. Hold on 1 second. And if I drop it over here, I will get 8.4 is the average number of children.
I was also thinking that where is the output?
The output. So what you guys are doing over here is you are creating new fields, and to get the output for any of the fields in Power BI, you create visualizations, right? It could be a chart you're creating, it could be, a card you're creating, but some visualizations have to be created when you work with measures, because other than that, measures are not visible anywhere in your data.
I was supposing that as soon as we will imply the formula, it will show like a card directly on the
No. Because, I can have the total number of customers, but I could also, divide it based on territory,
Exactly.
right? So it's not necessarily I want a card all the time for that.
Sometimes
These
you
are,
need to make changes on them as well.
yes. So again, simple example, if I put a map and in a map, I put the measure that we created of
Mhm.
total customers, right? And then I can go to the territory data, and in territory data plotted based on the country. So now what am I looking at this map for? Over here, I'm getting to understand in which country I've got more user base. It did
Mhm.
not create. Why? Hold on.
What is the second question, Ishani?
Total customers. So hold on 1 second. Just trying to say, second question is unique number of products. So for example, these bubble sizes, let's just increase it a little bit. Pretty much, what is wrong with it? Something doesn't seem to be correct when I'm looking at this visualization. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's wrong. So,
It is showing the same.
both are one side. Oh, there is no relationship between if you look over here, there's actually no relationship between, there's no country associated to any of the customer. So that's why it's not able to create it. So what can we do over here? Probably instead of taking this is like the total customer base, but when we want to see which country has more number of customers spending, probably the better way of doing it is through the sales data, where you have the customer key and the territory key both. Is correct or no? I
Yes,
have
then
got,
only it can segregate.
no, but I don't see anything. Isn't the customer key over here? Order date, stock. Oh, it was there. I've
We
hid
had
it.
hide it.
I've hid it.
Yeah.
Right. I hid it. I remember I hid it, but it is there. Right. So if I bring the, this is strange. This would work fine if we had those two keys and we create a visualization using it. Because right now, territory and customer, this is one to many. This is many to one. It is not able to link it. But if I remove the territory and the customer key, I make it visible. And then if I move over here back to my report, now over here, instead of picking the hmm. 11,000 customers. So distinct customers are 17,416. What is, oh, this must be rounded off, 18,000. 1848. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. This is coming up because they're not all the customers may be buying. So I have a total roster or I have the total database of 18,148 customer. Out of that, 17,416 have purchased, and this is the count of which in each country.
It is
Makes
not
sense,
unique.
right?
It is not unique.
It is not unique. We can make it unique. That is not a problem. So over here in this
But if
particular
the
thing,
customer name is repeating, then it can.
it is
it
distinct
can't-
only. It is unique. It is unique. It's a distinct count of customer key.
Then
It's a
it is.
customer key. So customer key is unique. And over here also I've done a distinct count.
If it is distinct count, then the outcome will be only unique.
Yes, a distinct count means unique. Yes,
Unique, then it is unique.
correct. So now it makes sense to look at this map. Initially, all the dots were same. Hence, I was thinking what is going on. It doesn't look correct. So we can see the larger customer base is in North America, followed by Australia, followed by the 3 countries in Europe, and last is Canada.
What is the answer that you are getting for count of unique product?
I think it is 293. So let's do that also and move on.
I'm done with that. What's the third question?
Average children.
Average
What
children.
is the status for others? I see a lot of people have already said done.
Done.
Right. Okay. So a quick measure, and we wanted to find out the unique count of the product. So
Shani, my getting errors because I create the unique product in a AW product table.
okay.
So I'm not getting any result.
What function did you use?
Distinct.
Distinct or distinct count?
No, only distinct.
Distinct count, right? You want to count and give an answer, right?
Okay, distinct count is no, only distinct. So how can I use count? Because when I
Use the function called distinct count or count, right? Count function will count and it's a primary key. So as it is, it would have been the same, correct?
let me check because I'm trying to count function. There is no giving me option, any option.
Option for what?
First I type the distinct and in between inside the type count.
Function name is either distinct count. Distinct count is one word.
Okay.
Okay.
Distinct count is a one
It's not
word.
it's one word. It's a function, right? Functions are one word. So for example, over here, if I do distinct count, correct? And then you
Okay.
do product key.
Okay.
Okay.
Product key.
Yes.
I'm using product name.
Let's use product key. Guys, this is done and dusted. Why are we confused on these kind of things again? Vivek,
All the names are looking close enough.
all the names are looking close enough. See, when you are doing count and all things like something like unique number of products, using primary key is the most efficient way of going ahead, right?
Ishani-
Because see, I have multiple, let's say there may be multiple Vikash, multiple Viveks in this class, right? But employee ID of each is going to be different. So what is the easier way? They can be Abhishek Sharma also 2 to 3 people, right? But employee ID of one person will be unique to that person. So even if I'm counting Abhishek Sharma, that is wrong, right? And how will I know without looking at the data, distinct or no distinct, whether the names are all unique or not? So the easier way, the efficient way is try to think about your primary keys and use it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move ahead, guys.
Ishani, just last thing. Average children. Can you show the formula?
You know, you guys have done Excel. What is the form?
Okay, got it. Sorry.
How would you find average of children? Which
Average
function should you use?
Average function.
Obviously.
But Ishani, my question is about distinct count. Unique ID is also already unique, and so why we using
I didn't use
distinct count?
distinct count. You did not know how to use distinct counts. I was demonstrating that. I had user count on it.
I'm
But
little
not Vivek. What is the meaning of distinct count? What does it mean?
distinct means, for example, two Viveks, so it's count only one.
Correct. So they may be tables. It's not necessary. This question only requires it, but there may be instances where we want unique values or the unique products. These are the unique number of products, correct? Now I want to see, this is a unique number of products. How many actual products got sold? So which table would I go and look for it? Out of this 293 products, which are the products which got sold? Where will I go?
Sales table.
I'll go to sales table. And in sales table, where will I go and count? What will I go and count?
1 minute.
Product ID, right?
Product ID.
Product key. Over there also you'll work with the product key, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Right. But over there, would the product key be unique?
But
No.
Ishani, in my sales data, there is no any product.
Vivek, it seems like you have gone back 4-5 classes and forgotten everything you have done so far. How come? How is this memory erase happening? Vivek, how did everything get erased? Remember, we did all these things. We've already done these kind of things, that we hid things that are going to be troublesome in the visualization, but it exists. Right now also I made it. I was in the sales table. I turned on the territory key and turned on the customer key. So in your sales table, if there is no existence of product key, would you know which product sold?
Okay.
So it is there, right? We hid it. And you know why we hid it, correct?
Yes.
All right. So please don't forget. Otherwise, we will not be able to move if you keep bombarding me with the things from 4-5 classes back. You got to remember a little bit. That is going to be tough otherwise.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So if same question I'm asking you, if I have to find out of this 293 products, which are the products which got sold, how will you find it out? So over here in sales data, we don't have anything called, we don't have, like, the product key won't be a
Unique product.
it won't be unique, right?
Sure.
Over here, it would make sense. So to sales data, I have got product key from sales data.
Sales
Okay.
data, product key,
Not
okay.
from product data. From sales data, I'm gathering the product key and doing a distinct count on it, which makes sense now. Because
Okay,
in this table, my product key is not going to be unique. It's not a primary key. Okay. So now if I create a quick this product sold over here. So I have a total of what did I do? It's gone behind this. So out of 293, 130 products have been sold and the rest have never been sold. Understood the difference between count and count distinct?
Yes, Ishani, thank you.
You're welcome.
I-
Anybody
I
else
got
who's
some.
confused? No?
No.
So don't feel that, it's not there, but yes, you have to keep in mind your data models at the back end, because that's how you're manipulating the entire set of data with you. Okay, let's move on. This is done. Forget about this one. Let's talk about the various functions, and one by one we'll go through it. most of the things I feel that you would know, because these are the common things that are there in Excel as well. And that is same things are over here in Power BI. Things like sum function, average functions, max and min, divide. Instead of using a slash, if you use the word divide as a function, you're just dividing two numbers. Then the count and the count count rows. What do you think the count rows would do?
Count the number of rows in the
How
In the
many
table,
rows there?
right? And a table, it will just simply count the number of rows. Distinct count we already saw. What it did was count the unique numbers. And then there are some iterator functions we'll talk about. So first, let's talk about this function of logical functions, like we have if function. So yesterday only somebody had asked me that you are getting true and false, and if I don't want true and false, if I want yes and no, how would you work with it? So the logical function in Power BI is also if function. The way it works is exactly the same as Excel, where we have to give a logical test. This logical test should give you true or false as an output. If it is true, it will give you the result in this portion. If it is false, it will give you the output from this portion. Correct? Again, we have this function called if error. Anybody remembers from Excel what is the role of if error?
If
Yes, Sushant.
error means
Instead.
yes, if any error type, getting any error, so it will be handled.
Replace
use
the
for-
error with
To
replace
replace
the
the errors, right?
Replace the
To
error.
mask the errors, right? We say we are masking the errors. So anytime your function, whatever the expression that you've given is ending up in an error, in those cases, if you don't want to return an error, which makes sense, because a lot of times, for example, let's say if we had VLOOKUP in Excel, it gave us any error. Now, NA is not an error per se, but it's a way of Excel telling us what you're looking for is not available. So if I mask it, instead of NA, put a hyphen, it's more readable for the end user than using the errors. So the same work is there in Power BI in if error. We give the value. This value could be a expression, it could be a calculation which will be calculated, and value of error. In case this value happens to return an error, whatever you write in value if error would be returned. Right? For example, if the value I'm looking at is sales divided by quantity, and quantity is 0. So anything divided by 0 will give me error. Correct? Anything divided by 0 will give me an error. So if I write if error, sales divided by quantity, comma, no quantity sold. So if quantity is 0, instead of giving a error in this case, it will return me the text of no quantity sold, which makes sense. So that's the role of if error. So yesterday, let me also try to recap. I think we were working with something related to female and homes, right? Over here, I use an if function. So if you remember, what is there in the if function? It's a logical test. Remember, we did this thing, if the homeowner, if the person is homeowner and it's female, then yes, otherwise no.
Yes.
Do you guys remember?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, Shani.
So what we did, if and in if, first thing is a logical test, followed by value of true, followed by value of false. What was our logical test? There were two logical tests, and both of them needed to be checked at the same time. So we used double ampersand. We use and, which is a double ampersand. So we said, okay, if it's a homeowner, so the name of the table followed by the name of the field is equal to yes, double ampersand for and the gender from the customer table is equal to female. If this is true, then what I want to return is a value of yes, comma, now I'm in false part. If it is false, I want to return a value of no. And we pressed enter and we get this output. Right? Clear? And what we created, was this a field or a measure we created? Female homeowner.
We added
Column.
column.
It's a column,
This
right?
was
We
column,
created
yes.
a column. And how would you know you created a column looking back in future if you're getting someone's work or you're looking at your own work? you see the symbol is different. This is the symbol for created column, and this is a symbol, the calculator kind of a thing is the symbol for measure. Plus,
Okay.
when you select a measure, on the top you will see measure tools come up. And when you click on a column tool will come up. Okay. Anything that you create in a column should be visible in your tables. So if I go back to the customer table and I try to search for this field, at the very end it should be there. I've got the female homeowner. Right? But other things like average children, it won't be visible. Anything which is a column would be visible in my table, otherwise it's not visible. So far so good?
Yes, Ishan.
Yes,
Yes.
Ishan.
All good. Shikhar, Sunil, yeah, Amit,
Yes, Shani.
Sandeep, Dhirendra, Girish.
So
Yes,
Ishani,
Ishan.
basically what we are doing is instead of doing a calculation in the table, we are actually doing the calculation in the representation of it.
Which
And
part
this-
can you repeat? Sorry, can you repeat it once again?
So there is this part of presentation which I see the dashboard, and there is this backend Excel file or data file. So what we are doing is we are doing the calculation or adding a field in the dashboard part itself, rather than
Going to
into-
the query and doing it. Yes.
Yes.
We are not going to the query anymore. Absolutely. So the thing that you created over here, for example, female homeowner, I could have done in the query part under conditional column,
Yes, yes.
right? But we are not doing that anymore. All right, moving on. Then we have a function also called AND. So we saw double ampersand and there is a function AND. The only challenge in AND is that it only works with two conditions. So if you have two conditions, you can use AND. But if you have more than two conditions, then you have to use your double ampersand. So going back to this question, instead of this double ampersand, I can use this function of AND. And since it's a function, it will come first, put the bracket. Now, if you look at the syntax, it says logical 1, comma logical 2, means only two logical tests are allowed. So if this is there, I can put a comma. This is my second logical test, close a bracket for the AND function. It will return true and false. If it's true, it will be yes. If it's false, it will be no. So if I have two logical tests, I can use AND function. It will give me the same output. But if I have more than two logical tests, that is where you will definitely need to use a double ampersand. You cannot use an AND function, just like how we did in Excel. Like Excel did not have any limitation of two logical tests. Is this part clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Same thing will be in OR also. OR also allows you to check only two of them. So if there are two logical tests where you need to use OR, I can use it. But if it's more than two, then what should I use?
Two pipes.
The double pipe symbol.
Double pipe.
Absolutely. The double pipe symbol that is used for OR condition. So let's do this thing. In the customer table, let's create a target customer column. And what would that be? Target customer is if the person's annual income is more than 100,000 or the number of children is greater than 1. Let's do this one. Let me know if it's done.
Okay. Customer table.
We use or in this condition.
What do you think? It's an either or thing, right?
Yeah,
I
we
said
have
if the annual income is greater, or you're asking whether I can use or double pipe. Arshad, was that the
Yes,
question?
I'm
So how
asking
many conditions are there?
2.
2. So with 2 we can use or. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's up to you. If it's 2 condition, it's entirely up to you whether you use an or function or you use the double pipe symbol.
If I type or, getting an error.
If you're typing or, so okay. Can you share your screen very quickly?
Red underline over the.
Because or doesn't come in the middle. Or is a function. Okay. So right after your if, you will be writing or. So delete or from here. Right. Write if bracket start or, just like how you used in Excel, exactly the same format. No. Delete if. You have in the starting equal to if and bracket start. And after that, your logical condition is what? You're checking if either one of them is true, right? So that becomes logical test of your if. So put an
Where I-
or over here. Yes. Put a bracket. No, not space. It's a function, right? Functions already. Yes. Now you see logic 1, logic 2 is coming, the syntax for it.
Yes.
Go to the end, put a comma. And second logical test is the total children. On the top. Total children, yes. Greater than 1. Bracket close. So you have to close in the bracket for or function. Now we are back in our if function. So we worked in what? We worked in our logical test. Now you have to give it value of true, value false. So I said anyone who is having 100,000 and or greater than 1, it's my target. So you can put in text target or not target. Chitish done, Shweta done. Yes, it's correct. Close the bracket, press enter. All right, so you can go to your customer table, go to the data, yeah, good. And see, and just click on the drop down to see both of them have been created or not. That's my way of finding if my if was correct. So you see both, that's fine then. Done.
Thank you, Ishani.
You're welcome. Correct, Faisal? All right. In the calendar table, go to the transformation and add a new column of days of the week. Okay. And once you've done that, using the DAX, create a column of weekday or weekend. Right? So what I want you to do is go back to your, hold on 1 second. If I create, I don't think so you have to go back. Hold on. So you don't have to go back. Don't go to the transformation, guys. Do it from here itself. Like we have the weekday function of Excel. So in your calendar table, you're going to create a new column. Okay, we are creating a column now called day of the week because I can't have one day of the week for all the dates, right? So it's a column we will be creating called day of the week. And what it returns over here is basically a number from 1 to 7, identifying the starting of the month and end of the, starting of the week or end of the week. So all it requires over here is what? The date. So we are using the calendar date, right? And comma. Now, what is this 1, 2, 3? If you click on this icon over here, it says 1 means Sunday to Saturday. So typically our day start from Monday to Sunday. So I'm going to pick 2 which means it is going to take Monday as 1, Tuesday as 2, Wednesday as 3, and so on and so forth. And once we press enter, you will see a new column gets created called day of the week, and that will always be visible over here. So January 1st is 4th day of the week, 5th day of the week, 6th day of the week, 7th day of the week, and then again it will restart 1 to 7. Is it making sense what I've done?
Yes.
Yes, Ishani.
Yeah. So we have created day of the week. Now what I want you to do is create another field, right? So think about it is going to be a calendar or a measure which uses this field, existing field, and creates a new field called weekday or weekend.
Ishani, how can I
What
see
you
that
have done,
extra
Ishani, right?
extra column added?
How can you see the extra column added? In the table over here, the table view.
Okay.
Shweta, you were asking something?
The first you, this is what already you did, right?
No, no,
Weekday.
you have done it?
Well, create a new column. You have just now you have done this part, right? 1 to 7, Monday should be the first day of
Yes,
week, right?
yes, I have done, but you guys will have to do it. You don't have this day of the week, right?
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Just
so
now
you'll
you-
have to create two of them. One day of the week and one is weekend and weekday.
Okay.
Ishani,
Yes.
Ishani, I'm getting error in target customers.
Okay, let me see your screen. All right, or this comma this greater than 1. You forgot a comma after or function. When the bracket closes, when after the bracket closes for R, where the total children less than greater than 1, put a comma.
Yeah.
Yes, put a comma. Now it should work. No, what else is wrong? Target or this. What this? Bracket closes or started. Target call customer. This is a error. What is the error? DAX comparison operation do not support comparing a value of type text with the value of type integer. You did not transform your annual income from text to integer when we were doing the transformation. Annual income is a text. Imran, in your case, remember we had done a treatment. So go back to home, go to home, go to your transform data. Okay, in this, go to your customer column where this is. Okay, come back over here and right click on it. Do replace values. Value to find $sign. Replace it with nothing. So okay. Now change the data type to number. You can make it a whole number since there's no decimal over here. Now save and close. Let it work. All right, now you see target customer is not highlighted anymore. Go at the bottom where your target customer is. Yep, now it's working.
Yes, good.
All right.
Thank you.
Shani,
You're
I am
welcome.
also getting error in target.
Sure, share your screen, please.
Okay, just
So Ishani is done. Weekdays and weekend.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes, Naman.
it's done for me also.
All right. Weekday, weekend, and day of the week you had to do with the weekday, weekend.
Yeah, I did weekday.
Weekdays and weekend. It's 6 or 7, so weekend and others.
Absolutely. Easier way was that. Or you could have used greater than 5 is a weekend.
You need to do
No, I'm just waiting for the screen sharing.
Just sharing, Ishani. I have to log in from others.
All right.
So Ishani, can I here use or instead?
We can
in
use
function?
or, we can use in, we could have just used greater than 5 without any or in. Any one will do.
So in function we can use.
Yeah. Okay.
Ishani, isn't it
See,
greater
it's
than
not
6?
a, one second. Tashish, you're getting error because it's not a measure, it's a column. Okay, you're not trying to get one single value, you're trying to create the entire column. So go back to your the calendar fact table. Open it. Okay, you deleted. So yes, right click, create column.
Okay, for target means target wall. For target, I am not getting correct answer.
So you first go to the customer table. Where is the target? Where did you create the target customer?
I have created target customer as one product.
And that's why we need to put them in the right places. Otherwise, we keep looking for them because logically it doesn't make sense to be anywhere else but in calendar.
But it vanished. I have made.
That's okay. Create one now.
Okay. I think so. I have made it, but it vanished. I don't know why.
You can search also, by the way. I
How
forgot
can
to
I
say
search?
that. On the click on search and write target. Write the name that you were. What is the name that you created?
Target, only target.
Probably once you're done with this, or you cross it off, this calculated field that you're having, just click on the cross sign on the left side of it where you're typing. Just cross it off. Just there is a cross and a tick right on the left side. Just cross. Click on cross. Okay. In the search bar that you have in your data, yeah. Write target.
Not showing.
So you did not create.
No, I have.
It's not there. Because it would have come if you would created anywhere, if you would have created it. Yes.
Okay, let me create once again.
All right.
Shikhar is set for weekday.
Yeah, Shikhar.
2,7 for weekday.
Weekday is 1 to 7, right? If I asked you Monday to be 1, 1 to 5 is weekday, right? Monday, Tuesday to Friday.
So, but Ishani, we are calculating from the Monday. Monday would be the second day or the first day?
If we are calculating Monday, so like for example, Ashish, do it and then I'll ask you for screen sharing once again, okay? So for example, we said we're going to take Monday as the Monday should be treated as the first day of the week. So when I created this day of the week, I had put 2. What is the significance of this 2? This 2 is making Monday as 1. Okay. If you don't put 2, it treats Sunday as 1. So whichever day falls on Sunday, that will be taken as 1. Monday will be taken as 2. So once you've done this 2, Monday is 1, and then all you need to do is, let's say we're creating another column called weekday, weekend. So weekday / weekend, and you can put an if function. Multiple ways you could have done it. You could have done your day of the week. If it's greater than 5, means it's 6 and 7, so it's a weekend. Else it's a weekday. This was one way of doing it, and this I think is the fastest way of doing it. Other than that, you could have used in also. If days
Ishani,
of the
how
week
can we
in,
use n? What's the syntax? N bracket.
In?
Then n bracket 6 and comma 6 comma 7. Then
So it would be if your day of the week in these curly brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I was
5,
maybe incorrect.
or you can use 6 and 7. Yes,
Yeah.
lesser to right, 6 and 7. If this is this, comma, if it is true, then it's a weekend, else is a weekday.
All right. Thank you, Ishani.
You're welcome. So if I create this in this table, wherever I have 6 and 7, it's a weekend, and anything else I have a weekday.
And Ishani, we can use it with or also.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes, multiple ways of doing it. So now can you tell me, when did more sales happen? On a weekend or a weekday? Did we sell more on a weekday or weekend? I don't think so. What did I do to my sales column?
It's on weekday.
It's on weekday. That's correct. Weekdays have more sales than weekends. So typically our mindset is, on weekends we get more sales, but over here, weekends have more sales than weekdays have more sales than weekends. All right. Any other questions? Ashish, you done?
Yes, for target that I have done. I'm now doing for date.
All right. How can we calculate total number of weekends using the measure? How can we calculate total number of weekends? The total number of weekends would be how many weekends were there? Number of weekends. I can't think of anybody. Can you think of it? What could be the logic of calculating the total number of weekends in the data? How many weekends did we have? Okay, one way I can think of is if I
Ishani, in a month,
create
we are having 4 weekends, or total week we are having 52, or we can 52 divided by 4. Is that the way to calculate the weekend?
yeah, but I was thinking of something else. Let me see if it works. So I was thinking that we can put if your weekday, day of the week, sorry, if the day of the week, where is it?
You have already calculated this weekend thing, if condition. From that one, then we can count
Calendar.
divided by I think what 2, because we have already weekend and segregated weekday and weekend.
Probably not. Sorry, I'm not listening. I'm thinking. Sorry, Shweta. I was just thinking, and that's why I was not listening to you at all. I think it can be done not directly by if. The way I am thinking, I was thinking that we already have 6 and 7 for the weekends, right?
Yes,
So if I count the number of 6s in my
Same
data,
thing.
that will be number of weekends. But with
Same
if
thing,
function, But with if function, you can't do it, because what you're trying to do, you have a column and you're trying to convert it into a measure. So it's more like you're filtering your data of days of the week and only doing a count on that data. So that's done by using something called calculate. So once we reach calculate, probably I'll give you your answer. Just to count, yeah. So what you're asking, Pratibha, is condition-based calculations, like sum if, sum of, count if, sum if, average if. All this is done by the function called calculate.
How many?
Yep.
So we can count all 7 and we can count all 6. Then
You count
after
one. How does? Why do you want to count all 7 and 6? 6 is a Saturday. 7 has to follow it. Correct. So why count both? Count either one.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Today I have a hard deadline. I have another training starting at 3:30. A quick announcement. Monday you won't have any assessment on Power BI, as you already have an assessment on Thursday. Oh, not Thursday. Sorry, Saturday for VBA. And our assessment for Power BI next week will be on 17th, which is Thursday.
Okay, Shani.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
And
sir.
Ishani,
Okay.
what about mine 15 minutes assessment, which is not, I
We
missed
will
that.
take on that day only. We'll take it on that day only. Like I said, the day it will happen, we'll put for both for you, both the assessment will be Thursday.
Okay.
All
Fine.
right. All right.
Shani, I
Thank
have
you,
one.
Shani.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Shani.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Yes, Shikhar.
Bye.
Yeah, Shani, when I'm writing the formula of a weekday, weekend, through the if formula, I'm not getting the day of the week.
Are you making a measure or a column?
Column.
Then why you're not getting it? Share your screen quickly.
Yeah, sure.
If okay.
If I'm writing, I'm getting these options.
Can you move your camera a little bit up to the ribbon? It's a column only. And where did you create it?
Column in the
Which
calendar.
calendar column?
Yeah.
Column. And where is your day of the week over here?
Day of the week. I think it's the here.
We created a function. We created a column called day of the week.
So Ishani, correct. Okay.
Either if you want, you can plug in weekday inside this only and do it without creating another column. But the way we did, we used the weekday function to create a column called day of the week, and then we use the if function.
And if we use the direct, then we have to use weekday.
Weekday function, bracket start the day from the calendar table, comma 2.
Date.
Put the brackets first, starting bracket of a function. Date would be your calendar date. Type in calendar so that it comes faster. Otherwise, we have too many date functions. See, calendar date, correct. Comma 2 for making it start from Monday, close the bracket. So this will return you 1 to 7, right? So we are saying if this is, let's say, greater than 5, it's not finished yet. It's a if function, right? You have to still write it. So bracket,
Okay.
inside the last bracket, you have to write it. The last bracket will not close now. Comma. Yeah, put a comma. Not comma, Sarah. Sorry, remove the comma and greater than 5. If it's true, then it's a weekend. So if comma weekend, otherwise weekday.
Okay. Weekend and it would be
Comma.
weekday.
Yeah, otherwise weekday.
No,
No, not this weekday. Double quotes weekday. Close the bracket and enter. All right, now it is worked.
Yeah, got it. Thank you,
Alright.
Ishani.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sure.
All right, anyone else?
Yes, Ishani, actually, I wanted to ask, but if you are getting late, no worries, I'll ask you tomorrow. That's
Is
complete.
it a long question?
No, 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 no.
Ishani, can
Tomorrow
you
is also I
please-
have the same problem. I have a training at 3:30.
No problem, no problem.
So Ishani,
I'll ask
only,
tomorrow.
can you show me the in function?
Can you show me the in function? Where did I write in? This one.
Okay, okay. Weekdays. Okay. Thank you, Ishani.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Take care then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Bye-bye,
much.
Rachel.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.